So as Father mentioned, my name is Suzanne, and I have been the site coordinator here in the diocese for the Rachel's Vineyard Retreat Weekends for about 7 years now. Rachel's Vineyard is a Christ-centered healing weekend for women and men who are struggling from the guilt, pain, and regret of an abortion decision. The healing that takes place on these 3-day retreats is nothing short of miraculous. I know this because just over 11 years ago, I tentatively drove up the hill here at the shrine to attend the very first retreat held in the diocese. For close to 30 years, I had carried the shame, guilt, and regret deep within me. From the time that my mother drove me to the hospital for an abortion my junior year of high school, I had lived with a very deep hole within me. Not only did my oldest child die that day, but a part of my soul died as well. I shut down not only emotionally, but spiritually as well. I did not think that God could ever forgive me. My life was literally in chaos for many years after that. I went to some pretty dark places. In my 30s, I was blessed to have a deep conversion experience on a pilgrimage. But yet, even then, I still struggled with accepting God's forgiveness. I would go to confession and confess my abortion over and over again. And while I understood the sacramental aspect of absolution and the forgiveness found in reconciliation, my heart held on to my prideful self-condemnation. I was essentially throwing God's mercy back into his face. The retreat experience changed all of that. I was able to finally embrace God's mercy and grace and learn self-forgiveness. While I had lost sight of who I was in God's eyes, he never did. He was waiting for me to turn back to him in trust. I feel so very blessed to be able to serve in this ministry, helping to facilitate God's freely given mercy and love. As the Rachel's Vineyard ministry grew here, the idea for the Shrine of the Holy Innocents followed quickly, as Father Anthony has just shared with you. This grace-filled place has been such an integral part of the retreat weekend. Sharing this peaceful place with those who are experiencing the gift of God's mercy, some for the very first time in decades, is so humbling. We always think of the Sunday on the retreat as Resurrection Day. The participants have been through a long, hard journey, dying to sin and rising in hope. To be able to offer them a place where they can come and truly memorialize their little ones, to have a place to pray with their children, and to have a memorial that says, this child was important, loved, and missed, is pivotal in the healing process. With an abortion loss, the mother or father is often not allowed to grieve, to share their pain with others. It is such an isolating experience where very often it is never mentioned to another person, even those closest to you. The retreat gives them a safe place to share these feelings with others who have experienced similar feelings. Many of our former participants have memorials here, and some even drive for very many hours to come and spend time with the children who have gone home to be with Jesus. It is the continued healing for them. I know that I speak for many people here in expressing deep gratitude to the Marians, to Father Anthony and Father Bob for being such great conveyors of God's mercy on the retreat weekends, and to Father Anthony for being open to the Holy Spirit to persevere in creating this holy space. There are lots of little ones offering prayers in heaven for you and your community.